Hello everyone, you're listening to Solar Powered KRUU FM 100.1. My name's Andrew Tint. I am live with Kristian Day at the Orpheum Theater, the beautiful Orpheum Theater. I like all the what are those hanging down?
Up here,
Yeah,
those are old film reels. They're actually when we had our 35 millimeter projectors in the North and the South Theater. After we pulled those out, we took the reels and we hung them from the ceiling. That was actually a Tina Johnson design. It's actually good because we would have, I don't know what we would have done with them. I probably would have just collected them. I'm kind of a hoarder of old film equipment, and I'm glad they're actually getting some use right now. They add a nice little flavor to the room.
Yeah, well, you were nice enough today to show me how you put the movies on the projectors. That was a new experience for me. I feel very mature now.
Yeah, that's our Friday ritual is we get the hard drives for the films either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, and then Friday morning, bright and early, we have to get in here and take the hard drives, ingest them to basically the projectors now are one giant computer, and we have to ingest them. It takes a couple hours, and I have to do a quick test run and be ready to do a matinee at 2 o'clock.
Matinee at 2 o'clock. So what is the matinee this week? Since last time we talked to you was the Grand Budapest. So what's coming up at the Orpheum?
This week we start Noah, where we've shown a lot of Bible movies. I feel like there's a resurgence of stuff like Ben-Hur and Ten Commandments and all those films. So we had Son of God. We had that Christmas Candle movie, which I guess really isn't a Bible movie, but It's definitely falls under the same category for some things. But Noah is definitely a new. I shouldn't say it's new. It's been out for a little while, but kind of the return of those giant biblical films that used to come out in like the 50s and the 60s.
Yeah, and it's an interesting take on the story. They try to do a good job of making it a religious movie without being overly religious. I know they don't say God, they say creator, but should be interesting. Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't. I think it's interesting that they use the term creator, because I think that I guess it tries to connect everything. These are all stories, and when you try to merge those stories together, saying God or Allah, it's you start to alienate people. So the fact they're saying creator, I mean, I guess for the most part, and I shouldn't say for the most part, 'cause I don't necessarily put myself in this category. Everyone believes in some type of creator, I think. Or at least a large number of people do. And when you just say creator, it can be whoever you want it to be.
And let's not forget that Noah is also in the Old Testament and has a little part in the Quran as well. So it should be interesting. I'm excited to go see it. But something else I wanted to talk to you about. I know you've been busy because you've been in the middle of making a film. Am I wrong there? Or am I right? I feel right.
You are right. 2 weeks ago, it was a Tuesday night. I was actually working on a commercial for Hy-Vee in Des Moines. I got a call from Joanna Plavsky, who's been a big supporter of the David Lynch MA in Film program, and told me that Kinga, I think her last name is Kolsar, was getting ready to start shooting her thesis film, but didn't have a producer. And because there was no producer, things were a little behind, and all the other students were well on their way. And she said, if you want this job, you need to be here tomorrow morning at 10:30 and to meet us at Revelations. So I said, okay. I actually jumped off a commercial shoot. It was an overnight commercial shoot, and I'm always happy to walk away from those. And I came down here that morning, and we met, and we literally ran right into pre-production. We did basically 3 months worth of pre-production in 3 days. It was hit the ground running, and I'm used to doing things like that. I don't like to do things like that, but it was really interesting because the script was really intriguing. And there was just all these things that she's like, we need to figure out how to do this. We need to do a car crash scene. So I'm driving around, going to junkyards, trying to find a vehicle that's had a head-on collision, and then find its partner, which hasn't had a head-on collision. So I went out to Lockridge and rented a vehicle for a day, had it hauled in. There was parts that she needed rain. I had to design a rain machine that we could use. That was actually, it was all this stuff done in a very short amount of time. It was done in 10 days. I actually I got my hand slapped a little bit for the rain machine, but I'm kind of put under pressure here. I really didn't have a lot of time to decide, oh, maybe we should wait for it to rain. I'm like, we're here for 10 days. We spent 3 days pre-production, so we're actually down to 7 days of shooting. And Kinga and the rest of the MA class is going to LA, or they're in LA now, but they were going to LA. And then our DP who flew in from New York. It was all very crunch time, so I really didn't have time to ask for permission for anything. We just kind of went for it. And we shot in Ottumwa, we shot in Agency, we shot in Vedic City, shot here in Fairfield. So it was a rush, and we still have some pickups we got to do. But doing film shoots, I haven't been on I did the TV shows, which was very different than this. Back a couple months ago, we did those 13 episodes. This was very much like the way I used to make films. We were running around trying to figure things out, and I kind of like the pressure because I don't really have a lot of time to think twice about it. I'm like, oh, this is gonna work. So it was fun. Eden West is in it. George Kelly is in it. There's a lot of great people involved. Brian Hawthorne did live sound. He actually had to double up as a grip as well. Just because we didn't have enough time to get crew, and most of the crews that knew what they were doing were working on other film sets because, again, it was thrown together in 3 days. But I did a lot of things that I was producing. I designed some of the special effects. I did a stand-in. I had to dress up as an old woman and ride a bicycle in Vedic City. So there was, I wore a lot of hats for it.
So that movie's getting made. At the same time, you're obviously busy with the Orpheum Theater. Now, so you have Noah this week. And anything else? I know sometimes you guys like to play TV shows at night, or so is it just Noah this week? Is that what I should be expecting?
Noah this week. We were going to do an after-hours dance party with DJ Astro Raff. We'll see. That's our first after-hours dance party, so we'll see how that goes. On Sundays, we do cartoon. We have Cartoon Network playing during Brunch Apocalypse, which is always fun. Next week, though, I'm super excited. We are getting our main feature next week for Art Walk, which it's Art Walk next week, and we always try to make a huge bang for Art Walk. We have Under the Skin with Scarlett Johansson opening, and it's another one of those situations where it's us and Des Moines are the only places that get it at the same time, just like Grand Budapest.
Well, I know the posters arrived when I was here, and it looks great, so I'm excited for that. So if people want to find out a little bit more about the Orpheum or the exact movie times, where should you send them?
I think they should all call Andrew Tint. No, you can go to orpheumtheaterfairfield.com. All of our times are on Google, Yahoo, MSN. You can also look at our marquee. Although they're not on my door right now, a lot of times if you're walking by, I'll have our movie times plastered on the door. So there's a lot of different places, and we try to do, multiple Facebook updates, a day. Our Facebook page is kind of like this. I personally think it's the hottest Facebook page in Fairfield. And honestly, the only reason I even say that, Des Moines is very much a social media town, and a lot of the marketing stuff that I do here is very social media based, so I do a lot of the same things with Facebook check-ins, Foursquare check-ins, Yelp check-ins, and things like that to try to help boost interest in the Orpheum. So we have a lot of fun stuff coming up. I think we're going to have a great summer. There's a lot of great titles I've been kind of previewing. Godzilla is coming, which I'm super stoked about. And be ready for some type of special event with the new Godzilla movie coming out. My goal, I've been so busy working on this film, I've had to take a step back from working on the South Theater. My goal was to have the new Godzilla play in the South Theater, the original 1954 Japanese cut play in the North Theater, and then in our lobby I have a collection of old Godzilla VHS tapes, and I wanted to play them on the TV in the lobby. In fact, right behind you. So I there's a lot of things I want to do for that. Otherwise, we're keep on keeping on. I'm actually starting a personal film right now here in Fairfield. I'm dealing with an employee of mine. You've probably seen him. His name's Jesse. We call him Homeless Jesse, or Jesse of America. He actually worked on the crew for the movie, but he has been kind of like this light that has come into the theater doing different things. And he's our janitor. But I was just at Paradiso. And I know he's a transient. He came from Vegas, and I'm not sure where he actually stays. But I was at Paradiso, and he was in there having coffee, and he actually offered me money for coffee, and I said, Jesse, But I'm working on a film about him because he's just this amazing human being, myself and then Maddie over at Taco Apocalypse have like this strange connection to him. So I'm working on a film about him right now.
Well, stay tuned for more information. Again, this is Andrew Tint. I am live in the Orpheum Theater with Kristian Day, the savior of the entertainment business for Fairfield. Maybe for all of Iowa, I'm not sure. But stay tuned for more information. Again, 100.1 SolarPowered KRUU FM, voice of Fairfield and beyond.